recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Chris.
Yo, we going down to Sesame Street.
That's your impression of hardcore rap?
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list. Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan and I am here today with Carmela Smith. Hello, Carmela.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I am here with Chris Hollister. Hello, Chris.
Chris, hey, that's me. Hey, how you doing, Jonathan?
Wonderful. I see that we are all part of the blue team today.
We are part of the blue
Look at this. Yeah.
Go,
I was cold.
So, gang, we have an awesome group of guests today. Really excited.
We really do. I'm excited. I'm pumped. This is great.
Starting off, Katie Sikelski is joining us today. Hello, Katie.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Brian Nash is with us today. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
Hello, and Harvey Silikovitz is with us today. Hello, Harvey.
Hey, Jonathan, I just want to correct something important.
Uh-oh, did I mispronounce the name?
Yes, you did. It's properly pronounced H-bomb.
Ah. Damn. All right.
Take you anywhere, Jonathan.
I can do that. I'm going to change the writing. H-bomb. Got it. All right. Now
we good now.
We like to get to know everybody a little bit. So, H-bomb, we'll start with you. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I live and work in New York City, specifically Manhattan. I'm employed as a litigation attorney. That's the boring part about me. I do feel extremely fortunate to still have a good job during this pandemic when so many people in the country are struggling. Something fun about me, you might find this just slightly fun. I've done karaoke in 66 countries in all 50 U.S. states.
Wow.
Yeah, I knew this about you.
What country is next on the list for post-pandemic?
Well, here's the thing. There were a few countries that I would have added already earlier this year. And had it not been for the pandemic, my number now would have been 69. And
nice.
Some immature people might make a juvenile comment about that number, but you're better than that, but I'm not.
I'm not better than that.
Jonathan already did.
I already did.
I was quoting Bill and Ted's in my head.
It's great.
Had it not been for the pandemic, I would have visited Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan a couple months ago. And my tour company had told me that there were karaoke places in the capital cities of all 3 of those countries.
Wow.
That's amazing. Brian, your turn. Tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Hi, I'm Brian. I live in Muscatine, Iowa, right on the Mississippi River. I'm the printer guy at a local college. And something fun about myself, I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for longer than most of you have been alive. I started in 1982.
That's not that old. That's not that long ago.
I was
82? Okay.
I was 6.
8.
We were
Katie
talking.
and I weren't born yet.
That's correct.
Speaking of Katie, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Sure. I'm from Kent, Ohio. I'm a graphic designer, and I also run the Inkling mail order trivia company. Something fun about myself, which, I don't know, I feel like half the audience is Facebook friends with me and knows this, but I am in Jeopardy limbo. It was supposed to have a tape date, postponed due to pandemic. So hopefully I'll maybe have a new date by the time this episode comes out. We'll see.
Probably my favorite moment of this year, just like if you pinpoint a 3-second or 4-second moment of the year, any time during the year, was the moment when Katie and I were talking about that. She had just told me, and then David Levesey walked by, and we grabbed him, and his reaction to her sharing the news that she had been selected was so priceless. It was priceless. It was just, I wish we had a video of it.
Tim Edwards' reaction was almost on that level also.
Wow.
When I saw Katie, she motioned me over. She's like, come here. And I'm like, because I had just gotten to the place where we were. And so I like walked over. She goes, I got the call. And I'm like, yay!
Yeah, it was some fortunate in some ways timing is that I found out a few days before Geek Bowl, so I got to tell a lot of people in person.
It was amazing.
Katie's also our official 5th member of the Oaks Media Group team. I mean, she's the brains of the outfit. Without her, we got no shows going on.
Yes,
know?
I'm the person that tracks down everyone and makes sure you open your emails if you want to be on the show.
She's saying that as a hint. Hey, check your emails.
Check the promotion tabs. Check the spam folder. Add Katie at Trivial Warfare to your whitelist. Otherwise, you're going to get a Facebook Messenger message from me.
Yeah. We appreciate you, Katie, very much.
I didn't mean to direct that directly at you, Brian.
Got it.
Katie, speaking as someone who is in limbo in the Jeopardy potential contestant pool, getting that email from you was the next best thing to getting the call from Jeopardy.
Aww.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. All right, guys, it is time for Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And this Warm It Up Chris question is brought to you by one of my personal favorite people in the world, Lauren Carey and her brother John. So John and Lauren Carey, thank you so very much for this. And
thank you. We miss you.
Yes. And as some of you know, they just started a podcast of their own. They're doing the Bearded Owl podcast. And in the Bearded Owl podcast, they combine two of their favorite things in the world. Weird Al, which I know, Jonathan, that's one of your favorite things in the world. And also God's beverage, beer. And
I was wondering if that was going to go beer or beard.
No, it's beer. B-E-E-R. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. But anyway, so I highly recommend you checking out the Bearded Owl podcast if you like beer and if you like Weird Al. Actually, I was on an episode just a few weeks ago talking about the Hamilton polka, and that was a lot of fun. But anyway, so Lauren and John ask you this question. I'm going to give you a brewery name, and I want you to tell me if it originated in Germany, Belgium, the U.S., Canada, or England.
It's multiple choice, huh?
Yes, it is multiple choice and whatnot. So, yes. So, again, Germany, Belgium, U.S., Canada, or England. So, I'm not sure how well or how much knowledge about beer y'all have, but we're going to find out. And H-Bomb, we're going to start with you first, sir. You get Beck's Brewery. Beck's Brewery.
Spell Beck's.
B-E-C-K.
Thank you for helping stall for me a little bit. I think that's Germany. It's definitely not Canada or the U.S. And I don't think it sounds Belgian or English, so I'm going to go with Germany.
Germany, my friend, is correct. Great job.
Nice
All right.
job.
Done.
All right. J.K. Simmons. Brian.
You know, he looks like him, too.
I know, right?
A little bit.
Yes.
We just need to replace the baldness with a flat top. And crunch a pencil in your mouth.
I think Brian is a pseudonym. I really do. All right. So
yes,
Brian,
his real name is Yellow Peanut. Or Yellow Peanut M&M.
I love the Yellow Peanut M&M. He's the best.
I was scared where you were going with Yellow Peanut.
No,
I wasn't sure where you were ending.
I know where I assumed.
So Brian, you get Bass Brewery. and bass like the fish. That's great bass.
Actually, Bass is my absolute favorite import beer.
Oh, there you go. So you should know this.
That is English all the way.
England is correct. Well done. So Katie, you get Unibrow. Or excuse me, I'm sorry, Unibrew. Unibrew.
You're stuck with it now.
No, it's OU. It ends with OU, right? I always thought it was pronounced unibrow. I've heard of it.
It's Unibroue.
I think Unibrow is the one with Frida Kahlo on the bottom.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, no, actually, this is awesome. Lauren, knowing that I mess up words all the time, made pronunciations on here for all of these. So
Wonderful.
that's how I know it's Unibrew.
Okay, perfect. I mean, that makes more sense for a brewery, certainly. Yeah. It sounds kind of German. However, I've heard of some of their beers, and I feel like they have French names, which makes me think it would be maybe Belgium. So I'm going to say Belgium.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Canada.
Oh, it's either. Oh, that explains French.
It is the Great North. It is Canada. Oh, Canada. So, Carmela.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Why do you do this to me, Lauren? You get Weyerbacher Brewing Company. Weyerbacher Brewing Company.
Spell the wire part of Weyerbacher.
Weyer. Bacher. Weyerbacher.
Weyerbacher.
Let's try Belgium.
I'm sorry, that is American.
Oh,
America.
Yes, they're from the Pennsylvania. So Lauren knows that one pretty well since she's from that area. So there you go. All right, Jonathan.
And I didn't know that.
She put on some like one brewery company and then on this list.
It's probably from NEPA because that's where she's from originally. Yeah.
Easton, Pennsylvania is where it says. I don't know where that is, but fair enough.
That's Philly area, I think. So
okay.
That's not my origin point.
Yeah, you're West Pennsylvania, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so Jonathan, you get New Belgium Brewing.
That's raw. That's raw. That's like, Jonathan, you get Murica beer. Which country is it from? France.
Yeah, this company promotes its Fat Tire Ale.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
So the one that Carmela's drinking right now.
Uh-huh.
And I honestly don't.
Looking at the screen.
There's no way that I'm going to guess that it's Belgium. I'm not going to do it.
I can tell you exactly where it is.
New Belgium, to me, must be in Canada. I'm going Canada.
Carmela, would you like to tell him the correct answer?
Established 1991 in Colorado. It is a U.S.
God.
That is correct. So
I was actually kind of hoping I would get New Belgium. I'm like, you mean the one I'm drinking right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. If I saw that you're drinking, if I knew that was the name, I totally would have given that to you. All right, so H-Bomb, you get Stella Artois.
That is one of my favorite beers, and I'm pretty confident that it's Belgian.
You're 100% right, my friend. It is Belgium. Great job. Brian, you get Lowenbrow.
Oh. Lowenbrow, I'm going to say, well, it's either German or it's American pretending to be German. So I'm going to say Germany.
All right. It was established in Munich in 1383. It is German.
That is an old beer.
It is an old beer. Dust that sucker off. Katie, you get the Great Lakes Brewery.
Is everyone just getting their favorite breweries here this round? That is located in Cleveland, Ohio. Actually, wait, hold on. I believe there's two of them. I think there's one in Toronto and one in Cleveland.
Trick
but
question.
the more famous one, I think, is the Cleveland one. So I'm going to stick with United States.
Oh, here's what Lauren had to say. Established in Toronto, Ontario in 1987. Great Lakes Brewing Company is an entirely different entity in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, then what did you say?
They're not the same thing at all. I said Great Lakes Brewing. Or brewery.
Oh,
excuse me, brewery. Yeah,
okay.
Great Lakes
brewery versus brewing company. Okay.
So
I thought they
there
had
were
the same exact
semantics
name.
involved.
So, all right,
But
Lauren.
I was aware of Kind of.
I give you
Lauren,
credit.
That one was a mean one. That was a mean one.
I gave you full
All right.
credit. You knew what you were talking about.
And also, I know already that Andrew Thomas is going to yell at me for saying that the Cleveland one is more famous because I believe we've had a discussion about this before. I just want to older. So,
Maybe don't
in my
argue with the
opinion.
Canadian about that. Give me
So
Goose
Carmela.
Island. Come on.
Let me see if it's on here. It is not on here, so I cannot give that to you. Sorry. How about Who Garden? Who?
Is
Who
garden
garden?
spelled with a D or a T?
It is spelled with a D. It's Hoegaarden.
Ooh, 2 A's.
Who Garden?
Let's try Belgian.
Belgium is correct.
Yeah, the two
Nice
A's made me go to
job.
Belgium too.
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
like, there's no Dutch beer on here, so.
Or Icelandic.
Okay, Jonathan, you get Orval Brewery, and that's Orval. Orval Brewery.
Orval. England.
It is Belgium. I'm sorry, Jonathan. You do not know your beers as well as I thought you might,
I'm
man.
literally guessing at things I've never heard of, Chris.
Fair enough. Okay. Hey,
He knows where Sam Adams is from.
I
know
think
where
he knows a
Yuengling
little
is
bit more
from.
about that. That's true.
I know where Kentucky Bourbon Barrel is from.
Well, we got one more round for y'all. So H-Bomb, we're going back to you, okay? All right, we got Victory Brewing Company. Victory Brewing Company.
Could the name be any more generic?
Right?
Well, this is a poor method of reasoning, but by my tally, there's only been one from England so far.
That's why I guessed England.
Victory sounds like it could be a reference to the HMS Victory, which was at Lord Nelson's ship at the Battle of Trafalgar. So perhaps it's an homage to that. So I'm going to go with England.
I'm sorry, it is American. American. And she put it on there because Victory Brewing Company also makes its own root beer. So she did that one for me. So thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. So Brian, over to you. You get Collective Arts Brewing. Collective Arts Brewing.
That really sounds American, but we don't have any English ones, any more English ones yet, so I'm scared, but I'm going to go American.
It is Canadian.
No.
Hamilton, Ontario. It established just a few years ago in 2014. So, Katie, you get Black Sheep Brewery.
Doesn't ring a bell, but there's definitely a lot of sheep in the UK, so let's go England.
England is correct.
Woo!
It finally worked.
They brew the famous Monty Python's Holy Grail Ale.
Oh, that's cool.
Famously tempered over burning witches.
It's
If I had that, let me check the beer.
the
app and
Holy
see if I
Grail Ale.
I've
All right.
had that, actually.
Have you?
All right, so Carmela, you get
Yes.
Oh My Gang. Oh My Gang. OMMEGANG. Oh My Gang.
Are there any umlauts?
There are no umlauts. That's a good question.
No, no, Canadian.
It is American.
Cooperstown.
In Cooperstown, New York, and
Oh.
they specialize in Belgian-style beers. And they make a Game of Thrones series of beers.
If it's from
so-
Cooperstown, it is like mandatory that they serve them in like baseball shaped bottles, right? Or
I'm
like
with you.
bats.
Absolutely.
All right. And Jonathan, to end this sucker, you get Chimay. 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 What's Chimay with you?
I cannot get anything from the spelling or from the title. I obviously don't have any knowledge of it. So I'm going to go Canada.
It is a Belgium beer, my friend. She said it was originally found in 1862, and the water for the beers is drawn from a well located outside of Monastery Wall.
Okay.
I was pretty sure that was a monk one.
You can honestly call that a holy beer. So, again, this question that was talking about the Lord's beverage is your warming up Chris question of the episode. So thank you again, Lauren and John Carey. Woohoo!
All right. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, John. So before we get started with the game, I want to pass it over to Katie because we have some exciting stuff going on right now, Katie.
We certainly do. For the second year in a row, we are not getting ready, we have launched the pre-order for the 2021 edition of the Everyday Q&A Trivia Question a Day calendar. We sold so many last year that we're confident we can do it without doing the Kickstarter funding this year, but we are doing pre-orders so we can, get a head start on making sure everyone gets their calendar and make sure that everyone wants one is guaranteed one, which if you want to guarantee you get one, pre-order is the way to go with that.
And what website should they go to if they want to do the pre-order?
You should go to triviacalendar.net. That will redirect you over to the Oaks Media Store, directly to the product page for the pre-order. And just like last year, if you order more than one, you automatically get a discount. So get one for yourself, get one for your office's Secret Santa exchange, get one for your mom, your dad, your kid sister that's active in Quiz Bowl. Whole family.
Especially your kid. All kid sisters need a calendar. Yeah, so if you buy more than one, it's 20% off for the full order, which honestly, it's a pretty good discount.
Do we have the price for one?
One calendar is $25. Two calendars is $40. Three calendars, $60. Four calendars, $80. And you can do the math from there.
Nope. Just wanted to know the first one.
We had somebody put in an order for 12 the other day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. 12 times. They saved quite a bit of money on that discount.
And we have improved the shipping method a bit this year too. I think last year a good number of the calendars might have gotten a little dented in the bubble mailers. We're making sure they all go out in cardboard boxes this year. So if you're given one as a gift, the box is going to be in tip-top shape.
Very excited. I'm super excited about doing this again. This was a lot of fun last year. I think my favorite part is that even now in the middle of the year, people are still using their calendars and finding great new questions, and that's very rewarding. Katie, I assume you feel the same way.
I do. And I feel bad for the people that left their calendars in their cubicles a few months ago. But that's actually another reason to buy two calendars, one for the office and one for home.
Right. I feel bad for the people who didn't buy one and they're like, hey, where can I get that calendar? There's still half a year left. Where can I get it? And I'm like, we're out. We sold them all.
No, I haven't seen my desk since before Geek Bowl, so my calendar is way behind.
You are certainly not alone in that boat, unfortunately.
That's the truth. All right, so the website is triviacalendar.net. Today's episode is number 282. It is a triple threat match. The teams are Brian and Carmela versus Chris and H-Bomb versus Jonathan, who tacked himself on at the end of the planning just because he didn't want to sit here with nothing to do, so he's going to get his butt kicked in public. Katie is hosting, and it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
All right, Katie.
Starting off, round 1, question 1. Category, food and drink. The first official recipe for what treat appeared in a 1927 Girl Scout guidebook titled Tramping and Trailing with the Girl Scouts. At the time, its name was 2 separate words.
2 separate words. I don't know exactly how that would work, but I'm going to lock in anyway. I'm fully expecting to have a low score in this game, so I'm not going to be the one who slows us down.
Brian and I are also locked in.
Yeah, H-Bomb and I actually were circling around it already, so...
we just locked in.
Yeah, we're going with s'mores.
Yeah, and our reasoning was the question said that the name of the treat originated with 2 words, and s'mores with the apostrophe seems like it could be a contraction that started as 2 words. It's a treat that's associated with being in the woods and camping and, having a bonfire. So on multiple levels, I think it fits very well.
All right.
Yeah, he's the brains of this outfit. I'm just tagging along. So, yep, we're locked in.
On my side, I initially started with trail mix, and I was like, no, that doesn't feel right. There's no recipe for trail mix. S'mores. All right, cool. I like them with s'mores.
All right. You also locked in with s'mores, Carmel and Brian?
It was the first thing that I thought of, and I've been camping a lot, and I've been in the Girl Scouts, and we made s'mores. So, and Brian seemed to be okay with going along with that. So we also said s'mores.
All right. Well, s'mores is correct. It was the recipe was originally published as some Moors.
I was wondering if it was some Moors after Harvey was talking about it.
I was
like, I wonder if it's
as
some
in,
more.
I want some more. So 10 points across the board. Question 2. Category is music. What band?
Sorry.
I forgot to pause. I forgot to pause for the chorus there. What band had 2 Billboard Top 40 hits from their 1999 album Astro Lounge?
I'm searching this thing for a clue that I don't know if it's in there or not.
You okay with locking in, Brian?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Okay.
We're locked in.
I'm going to lock in just because I don't have a good answer, and I'll let Harvey, or H-Bomb, and Chris talk it out.
Like I said, the Astro Lounge, the first thing that came to my head was White Zombie, Rob Zombie's group. But the problem is she said 2 songs, and I could think of More Human Than Human, which was around that time. But I can't think of a second song that would have been in the top 40.
Well, remember, top 40 doesn't have to be like number 1 or number 3. So
sure,
it could be that was one of them, the song that you mentioned, More Human Than Human, and the other one perhaps did not have much staying power,
Right, yeah. The only other band I'm thinking about is Smash Mouth, but something also tells me that might have been a few years later. I'm not comfortable with either answer, but I do know that Smash Mouth had a couple top 40 hits, and I'm starting to lean more towards that one.
Going into this recording, I was worried because post-1980s pop music is one of my kryptonites. So I have to lean very heavily on you for this one. I will defer to you.
Okay. I think out of the 2, that one sounds more, for lack of a better term, what was the name of this album again? I almost said Astro Glide, and I know that's not it.
Well, that's
going to be that kind of episode.
Didn't know it's going to be a smooth operator. It's Sade.
I came back upstairs with a glass of water. I need to go downstairs and get a beer. Astro Lounge.
Astro Lounge. Okay, I'm sorry.
Is there anything about Astro Lounge that suggests to you, Chris, that might be the name of a Smash Mouth album?
No, not really. I'm going by a small glimmer of thought in the back of my head. That's the old, and I like I said, I have a 0% chance of thunder on it, but I think that's the better answer out of the 2.
Okay, let's lock in.
All right, we're locked in with Smash Mouth.
All right.
And I'm sorry if I offended anybody. That was not my intention.
You're not going to offend us with Astro Glide.
Me.
Some people, hey.
Astro Glide is probably the least offensive thing you could have
said. Exactly. Use it. Have fun. Knock yourself out. It's harder to knock yourself out when you're so slippery, though.
Well, it depends on where you apply it.
Jonathan, what did you lock in with?
You put it on the floor, slide straight into the wall.
Actually, I like Chris's answer when I think I remember the All-Star album. There's like a sun, and they're like in a sardine can or something for Smash Mouth. I remember something like that. Anyway, I didn't know at all. I just tried to hit the time period and find a band that would have had a couple of hits, and I locked in with Savage Garden.
I was trying to picture this album cover because I do remember what it looks like, and it had some floaty shapes, but I believe it is a Smash Mouth album.
Yeah, Chris did pull a Jonathan.
Yeah.
the two kids singing Then the Morning Comes, and of course All Star.
Then the morning comes. I wasn't sure about Walking on the Sun when I was talking about it with Brian. That was the previous album. Yeah.
That was intense.
And I believe Shrek came out in 2000.
Yeah.
Was it 2000?
2001. Yeah.
Man.
All right. Round 1, question 3. Category is history. Now used in a variety of contexts to refer to any specialized group of advisors to a decision maker. What phrase was first coined by a New York Times writer in 1932 to refer to a team of academics who advised Franklin Delano Roosevelt during his presidency?
I would guess. I'm going to lock in.
H-Bomb, if you're good with it, go ahead and lock that in. We're locked in.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Carmel and Brian, talk away.
So, Brian, you said cabinet. I don't think it's cabinet. I believe that was used previously because I think Jackson's administration, they referred to it as the kitchen cabinet. So
Yep, I said it, and right after I said it, I'm like, I don't think that's right. So
now there's things like brain trust and think tank.
Think tank sounds good.
I'm thinking about if that was, because I feel like think tank might have been around that same time when they were trying to come up with ideas for strategies and things like that. Maybe I'm leaning into brain trust because that's what our group chat is with all the people from Oaks Media. The TW Brain Trust.
What about something like brainstorm?
Maybe.
I think I like think tank best.
Okay.
Of what we've come up with so far.
Then
You want to
let's
just
do
lock that one in?
Yep, I'm
Okay.
good with it.
Think tank.
All right. Locked in.
I went with the other side of that coin. I went with brain trust.
All right. And Chris and Harvey?
This was all H-Bomb on this one, so go ahead and talk that out.
Yeah. The very first thing that popped into my head instantaneously was kitchen cabinet. And I know Carmela very quickly dismissed that, and she thought it went back to Jackson. And I hope that she's misremembering that. And when I think about think tank, that seems to me more like what you call an institution, like the Rand Corporation or the Hoover Institution, rather than just a group of advisors. I did seem to recall from the deep recesses of my memory that kitchen cabinet was applied to a group of FDR's advisors. So we locked in with kitchen cabinet.
All right. Well, I'm not sure about the origin of kitchen cabinet, but the correct answer to this one was brain trust.
Oh,
Jonathan gets the points.
So I went ahead and I looked it up. Kitchen cabinet was a term used by political opponents of President Andrew Jackson to describe his ginger group. So yeah, it was a Jackson thing.
Ginger group? They were all gingers?
Apparently they were all gingers.
So at the end of the first round, the score is 20-20. All three teams got 2 right.
Woohoo!
Okay.
Yes, indeed. All right. Starting out round 2, question 1. Category is cats.
Yay!
Well, calico cats are tricolor, typically white, orange, and black. What is the term for cats that are a combination of only 2 colors, typically orange and black? So not tuxedo cats, but the specific orange and black color combo.
Oh, no. I don't know. Orange and black, huh? I was really hoping you were going to go with the no tails. I'm going to lock in.
H-Bomb, I think we need to lock in with that last answer of yours.
You don't think we're going to come up with anything better?
I know I'm not, unless you think you will.
Well, I had cats growing up, but I'm not a cat person and certainly not an expert on that fine group of domesticated pets. Yeah, let's lock in.
All right. So Brian and Carmela, it's all you.
Cool.
So my first thought was possibly brindle, but I know that's a kind of a pattern specific. Our dog is a brindle.
Right.
So,
like I was saying in chat, only female cats can be calicos. I think the other side of that are torties, and I believe that they are orange and black, and they can only be males because it has something to do with where that gene is on their DNA sequence, that it's gender, or excuse me, sex specific. So I think it might be torties.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so we're going to say torties.
All right, Jonathan, who'd you lock in with?
I didn't have great information. I'm reticent in my studying up on different cats and their coats of arms. I went with Tabby. I said Tabby.
All right, and H-Bomb and I were talking, and I didn't have much to help him out with. You mentioned Tabby, and I really liked that answer. Was there any backing or any reason for that?
It was just a guess. If the answer is torty, I have to say that's a word that I've never heard before. And this would be an example where I learned something from getting a question wrong in trivia.
You and me both.
True story.
All right, so you locked in with Tabby? Is that?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, it is short for tortoiseshell, but also acceptable. The answer is tortoiseshell or torty.
Wow. Great job.
I also would have accepted party colored, which is apparently a more generic term for a two-color animal. P-A-R-T-I colored.
Oh, okay.
Oh, not like... Never
Not like-
mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. It's fun to say.
No, my cat's a party cat. She's only 2 colors.
Yeah, I think a black and white cat would also qualify as party colored.
Yeah, I usually say bicolor for her.
Yeah, like
she's-
my cat has a mullet. Party on the top.
Wonderful. All right, let's go on to the second question of the round. Category is ad campaigns. As declared at the beginning of each ad in a tech company campaign that ran from 2006 to 2009, what roles were played by actors John Hodgman and Justin Long?
I can lock in.
When did it begin, this campaign?
2006. It was 2006 to 2009.
H-Bomb, I'm like 100% of Thunder on this.
What is it? Is the question asking for the company or the characters?
The characters.
Carmela, we can lock in with that.
All right, cool. We're locked in.
H-Bomb, those were the characters. Justin Long said, "Hi, I'm Apple," and then John Hodgman would go, "Hi, I'm a PC," and then they'd go into why PCs stink and why Apples are awesome and blah blah blah. And so that's why I said that. So it's Apple and PC.
Well,
Are you good with that?
As a loyal PC user, they were wrong, but I am good with your answer.
All right. So
Let's lock in.
Yeah, we're locked in with Apple and PC.
So I remembered it as hi, I'm a Mac, and hi, I'm a PC. So we said
Oh.
Mac and PC.
Oh,
Yeah, I also
Oh, crap.
I didn't think that it would be like I'm the name of the company versus I'm the product.
Yeah.
So I originally started writing down companies, and then I was like, no, that doesn't sound right. I'm going to go with Mac and PC. So that's what I locked in with.
dang it,
Yep.
H-Bomb, I'm wrong. Ah,
Yeah, I think I have to rule against that because they specifically say the words "I'm a Mac, I'm a PC."
nope,
So,
you're 100%. Yep,
that's-
no,
yep.
you're 100% right. That's on me. I just got too excited. I'm sorry about that. Dang it.
The advertiser was Apple, but the
Yep.
On to the third question of the round. Category is designers. What English cabinet maker and furniture designer published the 1754 book, The Gentleman and Cabinet Maker's Director? Today, his name is associated with both cabinets and a certain type of gentleman.
Chris, I want to lock in.
Yeah, I'm good with that. We're locked in.
A certain type of gentleman, huh? Cabinets and what kind of furniture?
Cabinet and furniture designer.
Furniture.
Cabinet maker and furniture designer is specifically how it's worded.
That can't be right. Oh, maybe it's that. I like that better. I'm going to lock in.
Carmela and Brian, you can talk it out if you want to.
Yeah, we don't know. I laughed and said kitchen cabinet.
My dad and one of my best friends are woodworkers, and they love this kind of stuff. And either of them would be all over this. And I'm going to kick myself because I know this is one of those that it's stuck somewhere in the back of my brain, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get it to the front.
The most in-depth conversation I've ever had about a cabinet is with Waco, and it's because we were arguing the differences between saying cabinet and cupboard, because I don't say cupboard and he does. I don't know, Brian. I really don't know. I made the gentleman cad joke as well because I can't come up with a serious answer.
Type of gentleman: a distinguished gentleman, a extraordinary gentleman.
A dandy gentleman. macaroni.
You know what? Dandy is the best thing we've come up with yet. You want to just go ahead and go with that?
Sure.
Dandy.
All right.
Now I want macaroni.
Jonathan,
right,
what'd you go with?
I was starting with Chesterfield, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. Type of gentleman. Is this some kind of weird thing for a gigolo? I'm trying to make gigolo work. I'm like, I don't think there's any thing as a gigolo cabinet. And I was just about to give up when Chippendale came into my mind, and I ended up locking in with Chippendale.
No, I do know that.
H-Bomb and Chris?
The only cabinet maker from the 18th century that I could think of was Chippendale. And that was when I heard the first part of the question. And then a certain type of gentleman, I was like, Chippendale dancer, it totally fits. So we locked in with Chippendale.
Yep, I apologize. The answer is Thomas Chippendale.
I've heard this recently.
Why are you apologizing? I think it's a great question.
Nice.
Yeah,
H-Bomb, great job.
fantastic question.
I really enjoyed writing that one.
At the end of the second round, it's 40 to 30. Brian and Carmela have 40. Jonathan has 40. Chris and H-Bomb have 30.
All right, getting into round 3. Question 1, category is brand names. And there's going to be some emphasis for air quotes that you can fill in yourself on this question. Mach 3 for men and Venus for women are among the product lines produced by what Procter & Gamble brand?
We're locked in.
I'm going to lock in too.
All right.
Chris, I think I'm comfortable locking in with ours. Are you?
Okay, well, you said Gillette, and is there another, because I know there's another popular razor brand, and I think we're right, and I'm trying to remember. I haven't used a Mach 3 in forever.
Don't forget to flick your Bic.
No, I think Gillette's the right answer. I'm doubting myself because of the Mac and PC thing earlier, and so I need to just stop that. No, you know what? I think I'm okay with Gillette. I really do. We're locked in with Gillette.
Okay.
All right. You're locked in. All right, Carmel and Brian, what'd you lock in with?
Because the pink tax is bullshit. But we did say Gillette.
Yeah. Hence the air quotes.
And I also went with Gillette.
Gillette across the board. 10 points across the board.
Yay!
It was Gillette.
All right.
Yeah, I've got a Mach 3 and razor in the bathroom myself.
Yeah, I just buy men's razors because they're cheaper. Do literally the exact same thing.
Yep. I used to think that there was some way that they pivoted on the end of the handle that was more shaped for shaving a leg. That's not true. There's no kind of pivot. It's just they're all the same.
And considering that the only reason that women are encouraged to shave anyway was because razor companies want to sell more razors. So
all right, question 2, category is art, because you can't have me host and not have an art question pop up in here somewhere.
The question is, how hard is it going to be?
We'll see. What series of collectible figurines is based on paintings of children done by a German Franciscan sister in the 1930s and 40s?
It might just be me, but I'm going to say pretty hard. Read it again.
I've got a guess.
All right.
What series of collectible figurines is based on paintings of children done by a German Franciscan sister in the 1930s and 40s?
We're locked in.
All right.
I don't know if I can name any series of collectible children. All right. I have locked in with a wasted answer.
The problem we're having is I think neither of us can think of a series of figurines of children.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of is Hallmark mass produces a bunch of little figurines that sometimes have kids, sometimes have mothers on it.
What's it called?
I can't remember the name of it. I can't, except for the thing I used to buy my mom when I couldn't think of anything else to buy for her. But I don't think that's the name of it, just to let you know.
Although technically that's not wrong if you were buying her the figurines at issue here.
Well, I know there's a thing. I'm not sure if it's kids though, because I think it has called Boynton. Are you familiar with Boynton?
How do you spell that?
think it's Boynton, Boynton. I'm just thinking about like little things that I've seen, like trinkets and whatnot. I think there's Boynton stores because I think Angie and I went one once when we were at the airport. I think there's one at the airport or whatnot. I don't know. I'm really talking off the top of my head.
Well, it's more than I have. Where would we be if we hadn't pulled Smash Mouth out of nowhere? For lack of anything better, I suppose we should lock in with Boynton.
Okay. We're locked in with Boynton then.
All right. Carmela and Brian, what'd you lock in with?
So if I remember these correctly, because my mom had a bunch of them, and Brian, you seemed to agree with me once I said the name, we said Precious Moments.
Oh, that's the ones I was thinking of. I was not going to pull that name, but yeah, that's the Hallmark ones.
And Jonathan?
I had zero clue. I locked in with Shoebox.
All right. Well, the correct answer is actually Hummel figurines.
Hummel.
I have some extra info on this one. Sister Maria Innocentia Hummel lived and worked during Nazi rule in Germany. She was permitted to continue her work even though Hitler expressed his hatred of it, and it was not allowed to be sold in Germany. She often also created work containing the Star of David and portrayed angels in gowns covered in six-pointed stars, which Hitler also not a fan of.
Sure was Precious Moments. Well, I didn't know that, and now I do.
This question was not one of my most precious moments.
All right. And to end out round 3, question 3, category is animals. What aquatic arthropod gets its common name from a species of goose, as they were once believed to be the eggs of the bird?
That famous arthropod, the Canadian arthropod.
It's actually just Canada arthropod.
I don't think I know any species of geese. That is disappointing. I'm kind of sketchy on what an arthropod is, too. So it's not going well over here.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one. Phew.
You might say that some of us are at sea on this question.
Oh.
I have no idea, Brian. I got nothing.
Me neither.
You guys just want to start locking in with some sea creatures?
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to have to do. We're going to be here all day.
You know what? I'm going to lock in. I won't be the first thing I miss today.
Sure, why not?
We are locked in with our very wrong answer.
All right.
The only sea creature that I could think of that I was pretty sure was an arthropod was a crab. But crabs don't look like eggs, although maybe there's a species that does. I don't think there's such a thing as a crab goose either. I think we just have to throw something out there and hope it sticks. So do you want to go with urchin, sea urchin? I mean, I don't think urchin goose is a thing, but...
All right, if you want to go with sea urchin, then we'll do sea urchin.
Hate to reject crab and it be wrong, but I just don't see how it could be crab.
Okay.
So I'm going to lock in with urchin.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Jonathan, what'd you go with?
I wrote down a lot of stuff. The whole egg thing was what really kept me from going with any of the obvious things that I think are arthropods. At the end of the day, I went with that famous species of goose, the duck goose. And I locked in with gooey duck.
Okay.
Which could be a very large egg.
Wow. I'm so proud of you for that. That was really well done.
Thank you.
Brian, Carmela.
We didn't know. We're really good at naming mollusks, is what we found out.
Yes.
Then we went to types of geese. So we're like, they're mean and angry. So we went with another mean and angry little creature, and we went with the mantis shrimp because they punch things.
That's awesome. I've never seen that before.
They look like they fell in a bucket of paint. They're very colorful.
All right. Well, I don't actually know that much about this species of goose, but it does apparently exist. It was the barnacle goose.
Oh, no!
Barnacles were originally thought to be the eggs of geese.
I have barnacle written down and chose against it because I didn't think it was an arthropod.
So
Neither did Carmela.
After you guys were giving examples of arthropod, like I got a little bit paranoid and looked it up, but it is definitely an arthropod.
Yeah. So Brian flat out said barnacle, and I shot it down because I thought it was a mollusk.
I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing, but I am.
I'm like,
It's all good.
I'm like, they don't have legs,
Yep.
do they?
Yeah, no.
Yep.
So I'm sorry. That is my fault, Brian.
It's all good.
So we got triple stumped 2 questions in a row, y'all.
You did. Yep.
At the end of the third round, the score is 50 for Jonathan, 50 for Brian and Carmela, 40 for Chris and H-Bomb, 50 to 40.
Time for the midpoint category is geography.
Geography.
For 5 points each, name the 4 countries whose capital is known in English as the country name followed by the word city. For example, Djibouti's capital is Djibouti, so it would not count. But if his capital was Djibouti City, it would.
Admit it. You just wanted to say Djibouti.
Djibouti.
So the famous capital of Travala City.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Jonathan, go to the corner. Go to the corner.
Of all the words that end with the 2 syllables city, Travelocity was the first one that came to mind.
That was, yes.
Like velocity.
Yep, nope.
Can't tell if that's a joke.
Okay, Chris, let's lock in.
You want all 4 of those?
I'm very confident. Yes.
Okay.
I'm excited to find out how many of these H-Bomb has done karaoke in after we
Probably
reveal them.
most.
Oh
of
yeah,
them.
that's a good question. And hey,
the answer to that is 2 out of the 4 that we've listed.
Wonderful.
okay.
You want to just put that down for our 4?
Yep. I'm good with it.
Okay. All right. Then we're locked in.
Okay, Jonathan, you can talk.
So the first 2 came quickly. I have Vatican City, Mexico City. After traveling around the world, I came to Luxembourg City, which I think is a thing. And the last one is eluding me. I feel like it's either Europe or Africa. And honestly, I feel like it's Africa. I don't think it's right. I'm going to go with Ghana City. So I have Vatican City, Mexico City, Luxembourg City, and Ghana City, or just the country names if that's what you needed.
All right, Carmel and Brian, what'd you come up with?
This was mostly Brian. No, I'm like, because I just blanked on countries.
We came up with Mexico. Yeah, we came up with Mexico and Vatican pretty quickly. I could be mixing it up with something domestic, but we put down Panama City.
Okay.
And for our 4th, the best we could come up with, and it's a guess, is Kuwait.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I was like, he said Panama. I'm like, I've lived in Florida for too long, so I can't tell if that's a joke or not.
All right, Chris and H-Bomb.
Okay, so I thought about Vatican City, but I believe that the Vatican is a city-state, which means Vatican City can't be a capital. And I
there's going to
believe
be a scoring decision to make on that one.
and I believe the capital of Luxembourg is Luxembourgville, which again is a gray area. The 4 that we came up with were Kuwait City, Mexico City, Panama City, Panama, and Guatemala City in Guatemala.
All right, well, you guys got the 4 that I had correct, so you definitely get all the points. Yeah, Vatican City. So I'm leaning towards not that, because even though it is Vatican City is the name of the city, the way the question is worded, it would have to be Vatican City.
Yeah, I thought about that.
Well, hold
It's
on.
not a capital.
So
it's the city.
Yeah,
What's the name of the country? Is it Vatican or is it Vatican City?
either Vatican City or the Holy See, depending on how
Okay, if
you
the
want
name
to
of
call
the
it.
country is Vatican City, then I'd agree with you that it wouldn't be
Yeah.
Vatican City.
It's not a capital. It's like Singapore. It's a city-state.
No,
believe.
I comprehend that. I was just trying to see if the name included the word city. If the name of the country didn't include city, and the capital's listed as Vatican City, then I would say give credit for it. But if it's the country name is Vatican City, then I wouldn't give credit for it.
Yeah, I gotta rule against that one.
Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so Carmela and Brian get 15 points on that.
Yep.
Chris and H-Bomb get the full 20.
Boom.
And I got 10.
And Jonathan, you got 1.
No,
yeah,
I got
10.
Oh yeah, I only got
Or wait.
1. I got 5.
Yeah, 5.
Ugh. Okay, so
After the midpoint, Carmela and Brian are in the lead with 65. H-Bomb and Chris are next with 60, and Jonathan has 55.
So tough game, but close game.
Man, that midpoint hurt me. I thought Luxembourg City was a thing. Oh,
Just Luxembourg.
And then I almost went with Andorra, but I was like, no, that's Andorra Lavelle, which is a very pretty name for a capital.
Andorra Lavelle?
That's the name of the capital.
Yeah. Wow.
I can't believe I didn't come up with Panama.
You probably had the same block that I did about it.
No. When my mind went through Central America, I never thought of the country.
Oh, well.
Got to remember, baby Godzilla eats hot dogs, not Cocoa Puffs. The countries of Central America.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For some reason,
you just blew my mind.
Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan, and I want to let you know that today's show is sponsored by Podcast Movement. Okay, so I'm super pumped about being sponsored by Podcast Movement because I have been to every Podcast Movement except the very first one. I started going in 2015, and it has been, with no exaggeration, a life-changing experience for me. I met some of my best friends in the world at Podcast Movement. I have made connections and built relationships with people that have helped me build Trivial Warfare. I've gotten advice at Podcast Movement that has helped to grow the show, has helped me do things that I never thought were possible. Podcast Movement was my entry point really into the podcasting community, and everything grew from there. I can't recommend it enough. You can join thousands of podcasters from all over the world for 100 live interactive breakout sessions and workshops. The event is going to run from October 19th to the 29th. There's going to be 4 main days spread across those 2 weeks, and there's going to be optional workshops in between, right? But there's going to be tracks focused on everything from creating your show to monetizing, and it's not just for experts. In fact, there is some of the best stuff you can find for beginners at Podcast Movement. So if you are in the space where you're thinking about doing a podcast, or you've started one and you want to take it to the next level, this is for you. Podcast Movement Virtual is taking place between October 19th and the 29th. Tickets start at just $99. So be sure to take advantage of our special discount code. It expires soon. Go to virtual.podcastmovement.com and sign up with the code TWA. This is going to be the best discount you can get anywhere, but it's going to end soon. So virtual.podcastmovement.com and use the code TWA when you sign up. I hope to see you at Podcast Movement. Today's show is also sponsored by EveryPlate. EveryPlate is part of the HelloFresh family of companies, and with EveryPlate, you can experience full plates and fuller wallets with America's Best Value Meal Kit. Guys, one meal with EveryPlate is about the same price as a cup of coffee. That's a pretty good deal, right? These EveryPlate dinners are a cheaper alternative to takeout and delivery. They give you the easy-to-follow recipes. You can keep those for the future. They give you the pre-portioned ingredients to make it easy for you. There's contactless delivery. I got to tell you, I've enjoyed every box that I've gotten from EveryPlate. It's a great product, and it's really cool because it kind of gets you back in the kitchen. And I know it's intimidating for a lot of us, including me, but with the easy-to-follow recipes, I was literally able to work with Sebastian, my 7-year-old, to help me cook. He could read the instructions, he could tell me what we needed, I showed him what the ingredients looked like, and together, we put together our meals. It was a lot of fun, it was really cool, and it's worth giving a try. Enjoy your first week of EveryPlate meals for only $3.99 a meal by going to everyplate.com and using the code TWA1. That's right, you can enjoy your first week of EveryPlate meals for only $3.99 per meal by going to everyplate.com and using the code TWA1. Go out and give it a try. All right, let's get on with the second half of today's game.
All right, round 4. Question 1. Category is television. In 2016, Sandy Toksvig took over a role on a BBC television show that had previously belonged to what man from 2003 to 2016?
It's easier to lock in when you don't have any knowledge at all. I am locked in. And now I'm stuck with 2 princes in my head, which I do not appreciate.
You are welcome.
It's a good earworm.
It's not. It's awful.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, then that's what we're gonna go with.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So, H-Bomb, just to tell you, I'm not confident in it. However, I think Simon Cowell has done so many of those music talent shows, for lack of a better term. I apologize if I'm not calling it music competition. I don't know what you want to call it. He did America's Got Talent. He's got Britain's Got Talent. He did like Britain Idol or Pop Idol or whatever it was called over there, and then brought it over to the States and introduced it to us. And I know that he's now over here doing America's Got Talent. I don't know if he's going back and forth or not, or if he stopped. And so that's why I said Simon Cowell. I really got a good feeling about Simon Cowell, though.
All right, let's lock in.
Okay.
All right. Locked in Simon Cowell. Jonathan, what'd you go with?
So I don't have any detailed knowledge of BBC shows at all. I'm speculating there's a Sherlock Holmes show. I'm speculating that Benedict Cumberbatch might have been Sherlock Holmes and that maybe there's a female Sherlock Holmes now. So I went with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Okay. And Brian and Carmela?
I do like the Simon Cowell angle. I kind of wish we thought of that.
Yeah, me too.
But instead, we said that they took over the role of Chris Hollister, so Chris Hollister was who they replaced.
Wow.
Can I just say that nobody could ever replace Chris Hollister?
Aww.
Outstanding.
Man, oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you.
Well, aside from the midpoint, I'm sorry for triple stumping you here 3 in a row. But the show in question is QI. Sandy Toksvig took over for Stephen Fry as the host.
Oh, that makes
QI.
sense.
Yeah, she is also currently one of the presenters on Great British Baking Show, but that came after 2016.
I thought
She was
about
also-
Great British Baking Show, but I was like, no, they didn't name like any. You didn't name any of the the guys that were on like Paul Hollywood or something. So
Right.
I was like, no.
QI. Stephen Fry is who we were going for there. All right. Going to keep things in the UK here for question 2 of the round. Category is world history. What 5-word motivational slogan originates from a poster produced by the British government in 1939? Although it was not widely displayed at the time, it experienced a resurgence in popularity when the poster was rediscovered and reissued in the 21st century.
We're locked in.
Chris,
Yep.
I'm 100% on mine. Let's
H-Bomb,
lock in.
Yeah, 100%. We're locked in. Jonathan, it's all you.
She finally throws us a softball.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for that. That makes me feel good.
I'm actually replacing the next question because I think it's too hard. So
Could you retroactively do that for the previous 3 questions?
I cannot do that. The one I'm replacing it with might also be hard, but I think it's a little bit easier.
The previous questions shattered me as if I were a Hummel figurine.
So this is 1939, Great Britain. This is leading into, or is already part of, World War II. It would have been some kind of recruiting poster, probably. What could it be? 5-word slogan. Fish and chips, not brats. There's literally nothing coming to me at all here. I don't know the answer. I'm going to guess the phrase Order of the White Lily, which I believe was a thing they used to motivate people to join the military. That's my answer.
Let's go, Carmela and Brian.
We
Go ahead.
both typed it to each other at the same time. We were all over keep calm and carry on.
And Chris and H-Bomb.
Yeah, we're not going to pick up any ground on this question.
But yes, we locked in with keep calm and carry on.
Okay, and that is the correct answer.
All right.
I liked Jonathan. I liked your other one better. The
Fish and chips,
fish
not
and chips,
brats.
not
Chips, not
brats.
brats.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
That would have been really helpful for morale.
Absolutely.
I just had fish and chips the other day.
I want brats now.
I want all of it.
Just have
That
a
was like
mukbang.
in the beginning. We've been going out for takeout food more at this point in the pandemic, but in the beginning we weren't really doing that. And there was like a month where I hadn't had any fried food, and I was just craving like anything fried so bad.
Yeah.
I was so healthy for that month, but it was not enjoyable.
Oh,
All right, question 3. Category: I never told you there wouldn't be no math.
Oh no. Wait, that's a
Wait,
double
with the-
negative.
with
Does
all
that
the-
mean there's no math?
That's triple.
They're triple negative, so maybe there is no math. Hopefully.
All right. What branch of mathematics has a name that comes from an Arabic term that can mean reunion of broken parts or bone setting?
Chris, you want to lock in?
Yep, we're locked in.
One more time with the question.
What branch of mathematics has a name that comes from an Arabic term that can mean reunion of broken parts or bone setting?
Bone setting part is me trying to do math.
That's that crunching sound.
Exactly. It hurts.
I'm going to lock in.
my first, just off the cuff, I went trigonometry, but it's definitely not geometry. Then algebra popped in my head, and I'm with you. I like that one best.
Yeah, I mean, mostly just because I know it's an Arabic word. So
Let's go with that one then.
Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on it if we're not going to come up with anything better. So we're going to say algebra.
All right. Chris and H-Bomb, what'd you lock in with?
Yeah, we both instantly said algebra because, as Chris put it in chat, math plus Arabic equals algebra.
That's a
How
pretty
about
good
you,
word
Jonathan?
problem.
Thank you. I was proud of that, actually.
I am a little bit worried about calculus. The bone thing, kind of the calcium, calculus. There's something there, and I'm a little bit worried about it, but I did the same equation that Chris did. Middle Eastern plus math equals algebra.
Yep, that was the correct calculation to do. The answer is algebra.
Yep.
Woohoo!
I do think etymologically calculus has to do with teeth or something like that.
Yeah, there's
so-
something to that.
That's what I do. Is I count my teeth when I can't count fingers.
But yeah, it's not a word that's Arabic in origin.
At the end of the fourth round, Brian and Carmela are winning with 85. H-Bomb and Chris have 80 right behind, and Jonathan has 65.
I believe in you, Jonathan.
I mean, this is going around I thought the scores might be a little higher, but this is right in line with where I expected to be.
Cool.
All right. Getting into round 5, question 1. The category is children's lit. What pair of medals, one given to authors, one given to illustrators, are awarded by the Association for Library Service to Children, division of the American Library Association, and are considered the most prestigious awards for children's literature in the United States?
And you want both of them?
I want both of them.
I'm so depressed.
You don't have to know which one's which, if that helps.
No, that doesn't matter.
Because I know one.
I think I can name one.
I always get them confused with each other, but you need both. So
All right, we're locked in.
okay.
And by we, I mean H-Bomb's locked in.
I'm pretty sure of one of them, and I've got the first letter of the second one, but it is fighting me.
Carmela, I'm not going to come up with anything better. You want to just go with that?
Yep, let's go with those two.
Okay.
So one of them is the Caldecott, I believe. The other one, I think, starts with a P, and a part of me has Prescott, and I'm like, God, that can't be two different names with cot at the end. You're messing that up. Part of me is like Pillsbury. No, that doesn't. It feels more like that, but that doesn't sound right either. And then there's like Prentice, and I think it starts with a P, and I cannot think of it. So I will lock in with Caldecott and Prescott.
All right. H-Bomb and Chris.
Okay, I believe it's Newberry and Caldecott, with Caldecott being the illustration one. And so Jonathan was on the right track, I think, when he was thinking that one of them ended with Berry.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought you were going to back into it in the proper Jonathan fashion when you said Pillsbury.
Newberry was the only one that Brian and I were sure of, and I feel like we were trying to get to Caldecott, but ended up saying Alcott.
Yep, it is Newberry and Caldecott.
Nice. Great job, H-Bomb.
Newberry.
Thank you.
Gotten that.
Do we get half credit?
No.
No, I don't
Not on
think
that
we
one.
do.
Question 2. Category Fun and Games. Question is, Critical Role is a web series that broadcasts live on Twitch and features professional voice actors playing what game?
I want to lock in with every bit of thunder that ever existed.
I already wrote the answer, but I know it's the same answer you just thought of.
Oh, yeah.
Meow, meow.
Meow, meow.
That was for you, Brian.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm also going to lock in
All right.
right.
and hope that I'm
Yeah.
not going to be surprised.
Yeah, H-Bomb, I've got a fair amount of, about an 85 to 90% chance of thunder on this one. But yeah, I think it's Dungeons and Dragons. I'm about, like I said, about 85, 90, and it's increasing with Brian's excitement and giddiness. on this
I
question.
think that there's enough of an electrical storm going on in your mind for me to defer to you. Enough
All right.
thunder. So yeah, let's lock in with D&D.
All right, Dungeons and Dragons.
Jonathan, what would you go with?
I said Dungeons and Dragons.
So there's the
And-
dice tray,
Brian and Carmel.
dice bag.
Now, when you asked me to say something interesting about myself, I didn't expect it to actually be one of the questions.
I was going to say, I don't know how much of the D&D conversation that has happened, like in the pregame chat, is going to make it into the final cut. But I entirely forgot that this question was in there when we all started offensively talking about our current campaign.
Fake news. This game was rigged. Fake
You
news.
got it right. I don't know what you're
We all got it.
Fixed.
Yeah, so we definitely said D&D. If you like Critical Role, I also recommend Dimension 20, which is done by the guys behind College Humor and Dropout. It's a very good series. Lots and lots of fun. So,
All right.
Katie, are we right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
good.
we all got it wrong.
I'm glad to hear that.
I didn't think I needed to say that.
I say if she tells us we're wrong, I'm driving to Ohio.
It's a much shorter drive for you than it is for any of us.
That's a very boring one across Illinois and Indiana, though.
I can just imagine Brian like driving all the way to Ohio, knocking on the door with a mask on, saying, "I think you were wrong." I'm like, what is he going to do? Oh, he'd probably disagree vociferously while being masked and socially distanced.
And then Katie goes, "Take
I'm
your
a warlock.
temperature."
I'll Eldritch Blast him. It'll be fine. All right, question 3, category software. A term that is especially popular in the computing industry. What is the notable characteristic of software or hardware described as vaporware? VAPORWARE.
You want to know what the notable characteristic of it is?
Like, what makes vaporware vaporware?
Mm-hmm.
What does vaporware mean? However you want to.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tears when your computer crashes.
Got the vapors.
Is it tears when you're answering a question over your computer and you have no frickin' clue?
True story.
Because then your tears evaporate and become vapor.
I'm going to lock in. I want to say congratulations to Philip Sanford, who got married today.
Yay,
Awesome.
Phillip.
They both look very, very happy. It was awesome.
Congratulations, Philip.
We are locked in.
Okay.
I know I've heard the term before. To me, the term vaporware implies something of a temporary nature. And I was starting to wonder if it had to do with maybe updates that are downloaded from the cloud, which would also tie in with the vapor in the name.
Okay.
Like, for example, just this morning, I had to update I had to download the latest update to my phone's operating system. And maybe when that happens, that's considered vaporware.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Or the protection of the cloud based information.
Well, that would be something different.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking.
yeah.
But if you think it's the updates, then I say let's go with it. Especially since I know we're running pretty heavy on time.
If we want to be covered a little better, just phrase it as something like that. It involves downloads from the cloud.
Okay. I'm good with that.
All right.
All right, let's lock in.
Got it. Jonathan, what'd you lock in with?
I said that vaporware is something that is never delivered, so it disappears like a puff of smoke.
Okay. And Carmela and Brian?
Brian, this was mostly your idea. I'm not saying that to blame you. It's just because I had no idea. I contributed nothing to this conversation.
Sure. So it's all my fault.
No, that's not what I said. I said I had nothing to contribute to the conversation.
Hey, you could be right.
Okay, so we had a few thoughts on it. We eventually kind of circled around it and locked down on vaporware is allows you to be anonymous online. It leaves no online footprint.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and give points to Jonathan on this one. Vaporware is never actually released. It's usually announced and it can even be advertised, but it's never actually mass manufactured or sent to customers.
That is that is what I was essentially trying to say. I didn't know the right word for it.
Yeah,
Well,
so
okay,
like
then.
I think, what was it, Duke Nukem?
I was about to use Duke Nukem 3D as my example of vaporware.
Yes.
That leaves no online footprint. I'm just saying.
For those who don't know, Duke Nukem 3D was promised for years and years and years. And every time they do some kind of update, all the PC Gamer magazines and PC Accelerator would go crazy over, oh, it's going to be the best thing ever. It took like 15 years before they released something. And then what they released was...
it became not vaporware.
Yeah,
but
it was garbage when they released it.
Half-Life 3 fits into that category.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah.
In a weird twist of fate, that is the second question in the set that I got solo. And still losing, which is bad. But at the end of the fifth round, I have 85. Carmela and Brian have 95. And H-Bomb and Chris have 100. 195 to 85. This is a ball game.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Round 6. Starting off with the first question. Category is more art. Sorry. Not sorry. Dear Theo is the title of a published collection of letters written by what painter to his brother?
Chris, I'm ready to lock in without even typing this.
That's fine. Write it down. Write it down on your piece of paper and lock it in.
All right. We're also locked in.
Okay.
Crap.
Jonathan?
So it's a male painter who has a brother named Theo, which could be short for Theodore, which sounds very British, which doesn't fit because Van Gogh was the name that came to my mind. Oh, I don't know. All right, I'm going to guess Van Gogh.
Oh, Jonathan, he did it again. So, usually hear about this guy when you're arguing about whether or not those are cypress trees. So, yes, it's definitely Van Gogh. Van Gogh had a brother named Theo that he wrote to constantly.
I'm glad I went with my gut instead of my head on that one.
Chris and H-Bomb? Do you like
It's all H-Bomb.
I wasn't aware of the correspondence, but I knew that Theo Van Gogh was the brother of Vincent Van Gogh. So we locked in with Van Gogh.
Yep. Theo Van Gogh Vincent Van Gogh is the correct answer. Theo Van Gogh is the brother. And I just looked that up, and it is short for Theodorus.
Oh. Dear Theodorus, I am...
They were Dutch.
Say to you.
Question 2. Same name. What word can mean either an algorithm for encrypting or decrypting content, or a freestyle rap session? Very different contexts, but the same word applies to both.
We're locked in.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to lock in.
So I'm thinking like something to do with a key, maybe.
Encryption?
Because, that's what you're really doing when you're encrypting or decrypting. You're like essentially securing it, locking it, and then you need to unlock
it, right,
in order to access it. But then what would the key-related term be that's a freestyle rap session? And Brian's got quite the poker face going on here.
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with freestyle rap, to be honest with you, except for Freestyle Love Supreme.
To be fair, Brian and I are talking to each other, so you might have been laughing at what I was saying.
We're quietly talking smack amongst ourselves. So
yeah.
I mean, I was wondering if it could be something along the lines of skeleton key.
Oh. And nothing's coming to me at all. So if you want to say key or if you want to say skeleton, I'm happy with that. But nothing's coming to me right now.
We're probably totally barking up the wrong tree anyway with this, but would it just be skeleton or skeleton key?
Well, I think let's just do skeleton because I don't think it's a 2-word. It just doesn't sound right.
Right. All right.
Or like a bone session. I don't know.
Well,
that's a different thing.
That's something else entirely, Chris.
Oh, what did I?
You said bone session?
When I get that feeling,
really,
I want sexual healing.
There are families listening to this broadcast. Let's go with skeleton.
Okay. We're good. Skeleton.
All right. Carmela and Brian, what did you lock in with?
So we didn't discuss as long. I think I was trying to pull the right thing from the rap context, and we ended up going with Cypher.
Oh, that's nice.
Darn. That was one of the ones I thought of Cypher.
I locked in with key.
All right. Well, the correct answer is Cypher, and I don't know the origins of why it's used in the freestyle rap community, but
magnificent pull, Carmela.
Rap session.
Thank you.
Yep.
I was going to say, Carmela's taking her victory lap on that one.
As soon as she said it, I knew that was right.
Rounding things out, question 3, category. Oh, fine. I'll ask a sports question. Since 1984, what has been the highest weight class for men's Olympic boxing? It's not going to be a normal sports question. I shouldn't say normal, whatever. It's not going to be Big 4.
You want to lock in, Chris?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm going to lock in, too.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I guess we can talk, Brian. I mean, my first thought was heavy.
I'm with you. Heavyweight really doesn't. That wouldn't be much of a trivia question.
That's true, especially being this late in the game. I do like the idea of cruiserweight. I don't know exactly. I mean, I know there's featherweight and welterweight and all that other stuff, but in flyweight, flyweight is like super low weight.
I mean, you've got bantam, you've got cruiser. I'm not sure where in that cruiser falls.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, what's the one right underneath heavy? Like, maybe they don't go all the way to heavy, but maybe they go right underneath it.
So middleweight, or I'm leaning towards either middleweight or cruiserweight.
I'm cool with cruiserweight. That'll work for me. I also think it makes a better trivia answer.
I do too.
Than heavy would.
You want to go with that?
Yep.
In with cruiserweight.
All right, cruiserweight.
All right. Jonathan, what'd you go with?
I went with super heavyweight.
All right. And Chris and H-Bomb?
Yeah,
Chris, this is all you.
Yep, we went also with super heavyweight.
The correct answer is super heavyweight.
It was a guess for me. I knew it wouldn't be heavyweight because I'd been around for a lot longer than that. So I was trying to think what could be bigger than a heavyweight, and that was the best I had.
Yeah, I think the super heavyweight is like over 225. Heavyweight's like between 200 and 225, and then over 225 super heavyweight.
I am
Sorry
earthen
about that,
weight.
Carmela.
You're cool.
I was going to say I'm ultimate weight.
Yeah, right. I'm like Triangle Man from the Particle Man song. At the end of the 6th round, going into the gauntlet, the score is 120 for Chris and H-Bomb to 115 for Carmela and Brian to 105 for Jonathan. Katie, what is our gauntlet category?
Gauntlet category is Don't Forget Norway.
Our wager is locked in.
My wager's locked in.
We are locked in.
All right. Gauntlet category. Don't forget Norway. Question 1. Also known as a Norwegian omelet, what is the most common name of the dessert consisting of ice cream and cake topped with browned meringue?
All right, I'm going to lock in.
We can lock in H-Bomb if you're good.
I'm good to lock in.
All
We
right.
were typing the same thing at the same time. I just hope it was the same correct thing.
We'll find out. We're locked in.
We're locked in.
All right, question 2 of the gauntlet. What group is the only Norwegian musical act to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, a feat which they accomplished in 1985?
All right, you want to lock in, Chris?
We are locked in.
We are also locked in.
And I am locked in.
All right. And question 3 of the gauntlet. Name the Norwegian explorer who was the first to visit both of the Earth's poles. First overall, not just first from Norway.
I'll go ahead and lock in.
Chris, I feel comfortable enough to lock in with what I sent you.
Okay. Go ahead and say those words.
We're locked in.
You think before the Swedish chef was a Swedish chef, he like moonlit as an explorer?
With his man hands.
The Swedish chef was actually originally intended to sound German, but then he performed with him like at a live show. Jim Henson performed with him at a live show in Germany, and all the Germans said that he sounded Swedish, so then he became a Swedish chef.
Hurdy-gurdy.
Awesome.
Katie, is that the type of trivia that can be found on your calendar?
It is the type of trivia that can be found in the Everyday Q&A 2021 calendar, available at triviacalendar.net.
I need to order one so that I do not miss out on such trivia nuggets as that.
Now I need to add a question about that for next year.
We are locked in.
All right. So the first question, also known as a Norwegian omelet, what is the most common name of the dessert consisting of ice cream and cake topped with browned meringue? Chris and H-Bomb, what'd you go with for this one?
We said baked Alaska.
Yeah,
Okay.
This was the only one of the 3 that I knew.
Jonathan, what'd you go with?
I said baked Alaska.
And Carmela and Brian?
Baked Alaska's for the whole table.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Yummy.
All right, question 2. What group is the only Norwegian musical act to reach number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, a feat which they accomplished in 1985? Chris and H-Bomb.
We said aha, and I believe the song was Take on Me.
Jonathan?
I said Falco.
And Carmela and Brian?
Fun fact, Take On Me was my island tune for my Animal Crossing island for about 3 months, and then I changed it to Funky Town. We also said aha.
Best music video ever.
Yeah.
All right, and the last question, name the Norwegian explorer who was the first to visit both of the Earth's poles. H-Bomb and Chris?
We said Amundsen.
All right, Jonathan?
I said Amundsen.
And Carmel and Brian?
We didn't know, so we went with Mr. Henson.
Of the gym variety.
Yes.
Okay, answers. Let's do question 1 first. The Norwegian omelet is also known as baked Alaska. Question 2, the Norwegian musical act. Earlier in the game, H-Bomb asked when I was going to start asking questions from the early 80s music. Hopefully mid-80s counts. But yes, the correct answer for that is Aha with their song Take On Me.
Breaking my heart, aha. Breaking my heart.
And finally, the Norwegian explorer who was the first to visit both of the Earth's poles is Roald Amundsen, or Amundsen.
Wow. Man, H-Bomb, that was a tour de force.
Wow.
Yeah, so Carmela and Brian only got 2 of the 3. Jonathan got 2 of the 3. Chris and H-Bomb got all 3, so they will be getting their points. Clearly does not matter at this point, but do you want to tell us all what you all wagered? Jonathan?
I wagered 0 points. So I will finish with 105.
I told Brian, I said, I think we should wager 0 because I feel like Jonathan has to bet and Harvey will want to bet. So I wanted to let you guys fight it out. So we bet 0.
Wow. Y'all were playing against yourselves. So Carmela and Brian will finish with 115. Harvey and Chris, what did you wager?
We wagered 91.
Yeah.
91, which puts you at, what's that, 211?
Yep.
Yep.
With a final score of 211 to 115 to 105. Your winners are H-Bomb and Chris H. Together they make up the team of Chris H-Bomb.
Oh, Jonathan, you can be my hype man any day.
That was solid.
Chris, it was great being in the trenches with you.
Hey, I tell you what, that was masterful. That was one of the best Gauntlet performances I've seen in a long time. That was good stuff.
That was a well-fought battle. Great game, everybody.
It was a seesaw battle, and there was a point where we were really struggling. But, Chris, we didn't give up.
It was a close game the whole way, too.
Yeah.
We kept calm and carried on.
All right. Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout-outs or promote causes that they care about. H-Bomb, we're going to start with you.
Well, something that I didn't mention, it's not really a fun fact about me, but I've been public about it with my friends. And that is, last year I was diagnosed with Parkinson's. So I would encourage people to donate to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, which is doing tremendous research towards hopefully finding a cure.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic charity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brian, you're up.
Okay. I don't really have any cause to promote other than just with the world being what it is, be kind. And please remember to, we've got just a few more months. Go vote. Every vote matters. Please vote. And that's really all I have to say.
All right. And Katie.
Sure. Well, I think I've already said triviacalendar.net enough times in this episode, which you can find at triviacalendar.net. So I will also add, you can find more of my trivia at inklingtrivia.com. Next edition of my mail order trivia thing will be in November. And to throw out a cause as well, I would encourage you to support the NAACP Legal Defense Fund.
Absolutely. And let me second. So if you have not played the Inkling yet and you listen to this show, that's your thing. That's a thing that you will enjoy. I can guarantee it. It's high quality. It's a lot of fun. I like to pair up with friends and play as a team with people. But at least, you pick somebody and you get together and you hang out, and it's a lot of fun. So highly recommended.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that is going to wrap us up. So for Katie, for Brian, for H-Bomb, for Chris and Carmela, my name is Jonathan, and this has been another episode of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Yep.
This episode was no vaporware. It delivered.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TrivialWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit propodcastingservices.com.
He was the first LGBTQ ogre in movies. You said he came out in 2000. Come on.
Oh.
Come on.
Not canon.
Did you hurt your shoulder reaching for that one?
As soon as it's a different meaning now, as soon as you said that, that was literally the first thing that came to mind. He did.
By the way, the two of those cities that I've done karaoke in are Mexico City and Panama.
Would have guessed those two.
Yep.
I've also done karaoke in Andorra la Vella.
Nice.
Wow.
Wow.
All right,
Please,
real quick,
please,
Katie.
please tell me that you did Two Princes by the Spin Doctors.
I think I did. I think I did a Billy Joel
knowledge.
song there.
Okay. I love every time Two Princes come on, and I make a joke about how it's the national anthem of Andorra because they are ruled by the co-princes.
Oh, I just realized what you
Yep.
did there.